Well, good morning. Didn't Jodie do a brilliant job with the children's talk? Guess where we're going this morning? You can guess that now. You know the story. She told it so well, I almost feel like I'd just sit down, right? And the job is done. The job is done. But can't do that. I've got to give you at least a few minutes of my time and my thoughts, and I've been excited to bring this word to you this morning. We've been away for a few weeks, and one of the weeks we've been away, we've been in Keswick at the Keswick Bible Week. We had a blessing there, a really good time with some of our family were there with us, and but also listening to God's word and worshipping with 2,000 people in the tent up there was great. And being in the Lake District, right? Just being around those lakes and the mountains was just awesome. But there was this sense there amongst the community that are gathered from across the churches, across the nation and the nations, that we are living in a day and in a generation where how do we represent God's truth in a society that seems to be more and more turning against what God's truth is saying, that seems to be drifting from God's word? How do we, as godly believers, hold fast to all that we should be in the Lord? And as you know, we are challenged on a number of fronts at the moment, aren't we? If you turn the news on, we turn the radio on first thing in the morning. It's just something we do. Make a cup of tea, turn the radio on, listen to radio for 5 or 10 minutes before we get up. And very often, and it's the news, it's Radio 4, and it's something that makes you cringe inside. Almost every morning there's something, you think, oh, that's not of God. That's not of God. Something about the way society's moving or things that are being told in the news. And we think that's not of God. How far, Lord, is our nation going to go? How far are the nations going to go? And it's difficult to know how we should respond in those situations. And maybe you feel like that too, as you look at the world around us, close to home and further afield. And yet I want to give you this morning a word of encouragement. I wanted to give you a word that we would go away and apply to our own lives. And I want to give you some distinct sort of leads or points that might help us in our own mindset as we grapple with living in a society and a culture which more and more is less aligned to what God's best is. And you will not be surprised to hear that. There's nothing new under the sun. The Bible tells us that. Yeah? There's nothing new under the sun. It's happened time and time again. And of course, if we turn to God's word, and we will do in a bit, we can find truths there in a similar situation that we can apply to our own lives and situation. And so I want to take you to Judges. We're going to turn to Judges a bit later on, and Judges is one of those books that can be a bit depressing, actually, because God's people keep on falling away from God's best. He lifts them up, he raises them up, he raises up these judges. What are these judges? These are men and women raised by God to bring salvation to the nation of Israel.